3. That's a little video I did earlier. Was really no point to that. Just posterity for myself, I guess. I gotta go get a tissue. My bad. I made sure to get coffee this time, but I forgot a tissue. So crazy stuff all the time. 163. Market's still not pricing in what's really happening. And I found out some more data. Right now, I just posted on the X that messing with AI, trying to get some clue of what's going on. Took about an hour, maybe 2 hours. I worked up a little timeline of what I think is going to happen with the world in the next couple weeks, and it's not fun. It's definitely not fun. But I'll run through that, and then spoiler alert: I'm going to end up on Cushing, Oklahoma. And Cushing, Oklahoma is the immediate bottleneck to show us the countdown timers. All right, let me go to the end. Not that far, right there. There's the September 1st. So this was the original one, and then I asked AI to refine it a little better, take in some more considerations. The Bob L. Mendeb straight is closed now, so it upped the timeline by about a week or so. So we're sitting here end of August, total global system shutdown due to oil. No boats are moving. No oil's going to countries that are importing it. America has stopped exporting. I mean, America stopped exporting months ago at the very beginning of August. In the next couple weeks, I'll go into more detail, but this is just what I have right now. I have saw no other calendars, no other event lists, anything. So I came up with something just to get a working, parameters for myself. So today, a dual blockade active. Cushing is critical. That's Cushing, Oklahoma is already critical today. So we're going to go into that later. Why that's important and why it's very important on top of being important. Why it's critical on top of both of those things. So next week, pipeline pressure failures begin. I'm going to have to go into it. Because Cushing, Oklahoma is running so low on their reserves, not the strategic petroleum reserve, but our export reserves. They're running low. So there's not enough, and our oil's thick here in America, our crude. So there's not enough physical weight, physical pressure from the volume to push down to cause it to be able to get pushed up. There's just not enough there to it's at a critical low, so it can't be pumped out for much longer. That's where the pressure failures. So they're just going to have to stop till we get more oil. They can't do anything. So then a couple weeks, so about 2 weeks, Department of Energy suspends all export license. That's going to crush Japan and crush China's economy. And we see Japan's economy is already crushed, and they spent the last 4 months spending 70 something billion to try to keep this from happening. So they just tossed that money in the trash. Meanwhile, blowing through, this is Japan, is blowing through their strategic petroleum reserves. So now they can't fight a war. Now they can't fund their people. Now they can't cook their food. Now they can't deliver any food to anybody or keep their power plants on. Like, it's starting to happen. And they don't have anything to do. They're relying on US, America, North America, to supply them with oil. And in about 2 weeks, probably sooner than that, we're going to cut everybody off. National security. So like this is happening real soon, and like this seems, a month from now, this seems like it's kind of expedited and a little too fast. I don't think it's fast enough. I think things are going to start moving here right today. Like we're moving. This is it. That's what. That's why I'm recording this. So then a couple weeks from now, the pressure's low in Cushing, Oklahoma. Refineries start shutting down. Now we're blazing through our strategic petroleum reserve. Japan's just basically out. They got some left, but they've been draining theirs since April. Uh, we've been trying to help them a little bit by giving them some exports. We're exporting to China. China's running a deficit. They're not using as much oil as they would really want to, just to keep the global oil market from capsizing too early, which is not too early anymore. We're here. So here's the end. So I did the refined countdown. Indicates that the total cessation of U.S. oil exports to China and Japan by August 15th. So a couple weeks. That if they don't do anything, their economy is in complete, utter destruction, which it already is right now. Their currency is becoming worthless. Purchasing power is collapsing in Japan. And all fiats are collapsing because that's what fiats do after 70, 80 years. They always simpuku, they're the demonic currency. They simpuku. Sampuku. That's how you say it. Japanese ritualistic suicide. August 25th, total system shutdown. That's global supply chain repricing. That's everything. Just try to figure out an item in your local grocer's freezer that does not rely on a plane, a truck, or a boat, because all of those are going to be shut down. So, like, I'm talking some heavy shit right now. Next couple weeks, we're shutting down the supply chains again. Remember the pandemic of policies in 2020 where we just shut down the supply chains intentionally through policies? We're doing that again. But this time, we're going to blame it on oil. We're letting our oil run out for the last 8 months. And then all of a sudden, we're going to be like, well, we're out of oil. We have to shut down. And everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, Hegelian dialectic. We have to shut down. You're right. We need a solution. They're going to be like, well, here's the solution. Here we are again. It only takes 7 years for these people to forget. Phase 1 tank bottom. We're here. Cushing, Oklahoma. We'll go into that in a second. They don't have enough volume left to have the pressure, to have the weight to push our North American thick crude up. There's not enough weight there. We're low. Going lower. As storage levels hit tank bottom, it's like the tank bottom phenomena or the tank bottom crisis. It's like as you get to the bottom, you're drinking your big Slurpee in the movie theater and you start doing the slurp sound. That's where we're at now. We're hitting the tank bottom, and there's not enough pressure to keep the crude pumping. Pipeline pressure drops. Refineries in the U.S., Midwest, and Gulf Coast regions regions. This coffee is strong. Forced shutdowns due to inability to draw crude, regardless of price. And the regardless of price is important because now we're at 150 Brent, we're at 200 Brent, 200 per barrel is we're already at that price. So that made it a little easier, keep it flowing. But now, next couple of weeks, it doesn't matter how expensive, how high the price per barrel of gas goes. It doesn't matter regardless of price because we're at the bottom of the tank. There's not enough pressure to keep pumping the crude. This is a logistics. It's a policy because we did that on purpose. But now that it's that low, we can't pump it. We just can't pump it. There's not enough to pump. So regardless of price, so now Brent at 150 per barrel, 200 per barrel, doesn't matter. We're shutting it down. This is just phase one, folks. This is the next couple of weeks. Impact on exports. Export terminals prioritize domestic feeds, domestic security, national security. We cannot export anymore. Picture Trump soon. Imagine him coming out saying, due to low inventories, Strategic Petroleum Reserve, Cushing, Oklahoma, we are no longer able to export oil to Japan and China and the whole world, but those two are just going to get effed up. Hopefully not. Hopefully they do something, but as of today, that's the data I'm using. And tomorrow it could be a complete new set of data. Let's just roll with what I got today. So spot cargoes to China and Japan are canceled immediately. Phase one. We got 3 phases, 2 more phases to go. And now Japan and China are completely cut off of all oil imports. And remember, I'll say it wrong, but Bab Dub Shabab and Strait of Hormuz both shut down as of today, right? That's the narrative. The 150,000th time in the past 6 months they're shut down. But let's just go with the data we have. Drain rate. With refineries shutting, the draw on the... So now, this is when the Strategic Petroleum Reserve starts getting decimated. Because remember, in the previous administration, it was drawn down. We didn't refill it. Now you're hearing stories of it's not even that they're drawn down. It's that they're incapacitated. One's just completely offline. I think 1 out of 4. So we're low, and we're doing 4.5. Well, we're doing like 1.8 million barrels a week right now. So the SPR, that's going to jump to 4.4 to 5 million barrels per week. Emergency pace. This thing that we saw coming for years, now it's an emergency and we didn't prepare. So now we're going to have to do some dumb things. You could tell I'm jaded. I went through this during the 2020 pandemic of policies. Like, I already know it's all policies. They're planning it. They could have fixed it. They didn't. They did other things. They went on vacation. It's intentional. They need us to react. Hegelian dialectic. So here's my reaction. Oh, ooh. You're welcome. The dual blockade, Hormuz put Bab del Chabatabab, prevents any replacement imports, locking the U.S. into a closed system. Everyone for themselves. Every nation for themselves at this point. America's going to be fine, America, because we're energy dominant. Some president saw ahead that something like this is going to be coming down the road, and he didn't want to be dependent on any other nation. So we're energy dominant, energy dependent. We have the crude reserves. We'll have enough. We could just go drill some if we need more. So we're going to be fine. Prices will go up, but other countries will most likely be decimated. And that's not a good thing, FYI. Fly. All right, so that was just phase one. So now countries don't have any way to get oil. They don't have any way to ship. That's just phase one. Let's keep going. So now we got, we're going to Cushing in a little bit. So now we got, going back really quick. The refinery's shutting down. So that's going to start the focus on the SPR Strategic Petroleum Reserve starts hitting up. So 250s are like normal low. So like once we usually hit 250, we're like, all right, you guys, refill that tank. We need more. That's our low. We're going lower than that, let me tell you. Commercial inventories, 380 million barrels. So this is phase two, the export embargo by necessity. It's not even our fault, man. This is logistics. It's not even policy anymore. It's logistics. Our Cushing oil is just low. We're slurping at the bottom of the tank. Could have fixed it 6 months ago. Didn't do that. Here we are. Could have fixed it 5 years ago, 8 years ago, 15 years ago. We didn't. Here we are. The U.S., and we're not fixing any of the problems now. So in 10 years, here we are. The U.S. government effectively halts all export licenses to preserve remaining stocks for national security. America first. We have to keep our things going. This is not a policy. Oh, yeah, we don't have a choice. Policy choice, but a logistical reality. There is no surplus. We didn't see it coming. For the past 15 years, when we talked about it, we just didn't see it coming. We had strategic bottlenecks all around the world in countries that were unstable, and we kept destabilizing countries. We didn't see it coming. It's not a policy. All the boats in California in 2020 that California wouldn't let them in, so that all the boats with the supplies that all of America needed just kept dumping the supplies into the ocean and returning to their own ports in other countries because they were losing so much money per day because of policies. They just dumped all the food, all the toilet paper, all the hand sanitizer, just dump it into the ocean, dump it into the bay. Let's get out of here. That's a policy. We're heading towards that again. China and Japan, and that was hundreds of boats, by the way, off the coast of California. So, what about China and Japan? They're importers of oil. Now the whole world has cut off exports. What is Japan and China going to do? Zero U.S. crude arrivals. What are they going to do? Both nations must rely entirely on diverted Russian, African, and residual Middle Eastern volumes. That one boat per day getting through Hormuz and Baghdad. Infrastructure failure. The thing we didn't plan for, that we saw coming for years and decades, here it is, and it's failing just like we wanted it to because we didn't fix it. If you don't fix something, that means you want it broke. Major U.S. refineries operate below 60% capacity. So the flow of oil to recoup, to what is the word, to fill it up, refill, that's slowing at least below 60%, 50%, somewhere around there. Now we can't even fill up what we need. Gasoline and distillate shortages become widespread domestically. We're doing the 1970s all over. Good time to buy a scooter if I don't say so myself, which I do. And I just oil changed mine and filled the tank up and filled my car up. And this is weeks, folks. I don't know all the one new person that just showed up. This is weeks. This is weeks. Phase two, that's 2 weeks away. Nationwide shortages on distillates. That's kerosene, that's gasoline, that's diesel, that's everything. So what items in your stores rely on trucks and boats and planes to get those items to you? Trick question. All of them. All of them. And this is just phase two, folks. We have another phase coming up. Hang with me. This is in the next couple weeks. I think sooner than that, next week and a half. Let's go. It's going to get ugly. I text my family. I was like, I don't know how to prepare for this one. COVID policies, the pandemic of policies in 2020. I was like, I gotta quit my career in healthcare, get rid of these psychopaths, get out of there. So I had to quit 2 careers in 2020. just to get out of the medical field. Just finished my master's in healthcare administration, had to leave the healthcare system. Now I make compost. So, good for me. Uh, Global price actions. Brent crude oil likely exceeds 150 to 200 per barrel in the next couple weeks, folks. We're at 84. We're at 84 right now. Next couple weeks, it's going to double. Not go up a little bit, and even not even gap up. It's going to double. The price of gas per barrel is going to double in the next couple weeks. At least double. Hang with me. This is only phase 2. We got one more phase. So this is August 6th to 20th. And this is not the refined one. The refined schedule is September. So September 1st. Here's the refined one, August 25th. Because now Bob Shabab is closed. I should probably learn that. Bob El Mandeb. Just that old frickin' Mandeb. So they shaved about a week off, taking into consideration some new things I asked the AI to consider. But China and Japan are on their own within 2 weeks. That's not good. So today, the double blockade, Cushing critical, we'll go to that. That's right now. Where it's already started. Like this isn't a hypothetical. This has started. Pipeline pressure failures that will start next week. You'll hear the news start talking about Cushing, Oklahoma next week. The pipeline crossroads of the world. Next week, it's going to be the most important thing always talked about. Right now, we're talking about strategic petroleum reserves. That's not what we're draining at this point. That's phase 2 is strategic petroleum reserves. Phase 1 was Cushing, Oklahoma. So now we're draining the petroleum reserves. Now, next week, a week and a half, Brent oil is going to double. Not even gap up, double or more. And then, so we're at $200 a barrel per Brent. But then it's not even going to matter what price it is. It could go up to 500. Doesn't matter. We're out. We're out. And then we can't. And then so we're out, and we can't replenish. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Replenish, because we're down to 50-60% now. Gasoline and distillate shortages become widespread domestically. Now, forget about Japan and China. They are on their own. Every country for yourselves next week. The world is going to change in a week. This is crazy. This is happening. It's crazy. Japan, China on their own. They import oil. Can't help you, bro. We're domestic, national security. You should have been in. You should have drilled like somebody told you a couple years ago. That's sad. That's sad. Here we are. This is it. Phase 3. Brent oil, $200 a barrel. Cushing, Oklahoma, we're out. We can't supply anything. China, Japan, cut off. Strait of Hormuz, Strait of Bab Chagujabab, all shut down. Boats, planes, trains, can't fly them. Domestic flights, like commercial airplanes, probably grounded, or the prices gap up. There's going to be a global everything supply chain repricing real soon. Next week or so, 2 weeks. All right, so now we're in phase 3. The total system collapse. And these dates aren't right, like I keep showing you. I had the original one was a little bit expanding into September. I took it for the Bob El Mandeb and a couple other things. They cut AI cut a couple weeks off, week and a half off. So these dates aren't exactly right. Like shave a week off of them, a week or two. Next week, folks. SBR hits the operational floor, 6.8 billion barrels. total system liquidity equivalent, or 150 million SPR specific. Event: physical inability to pump remaining oil. Operational floor: that's you're slurping at the bottom of the cup with your straw, and everyone's like, "Shut up! You're ruining the movie." That's where we're headed. We're going to be ruining the movie with our noise from all the gurgling from trying to pump this oil out that's way too low. That's what's happening. Described in earlier models as reached months ahead of the original September prediction due to the compounding blockade effects. Now we have dose blockades. So that shaved a couple weeks off. We would have had the end of the world. And it's not the end of the world. I'm being hyperbolic. But it's going to be a brand new world. Things are changing in the next week or so globally, forever. Outcome: the U.S. becomes the net importer of refined products if available globally, but cannot export any crude products. Right now, we're the global exporter. We are America, U.S. is exporting more crude than anybody on the planet. Next week, next 2 weeks, I say a week and a half or so, 8-9 days, that's going to stop. China's cut off, Japan cut off. We can't float you anymore. You're on your own. National security. Here we go. That's happening next week. Or happening, they say by August 15th. So within the next couple weeks. And that's based on how fast right now, today, we're draining Cushing, Oklahoma, and the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. So that could always change, and I don't think it'll expand longer, like farther in the future. I think we're going to drain more, quicker, faster. So I think it'll be less than the August 15th. I keep saying next week, and I'm comfortable with that at the current data. So now we're going to start importing oil because Cushing's low, Strategic Petroleum Reserve's low, all our refineries are at 60% or less. It's on. Seals the face. So Europe's been trying to some poo-poo themselves for the last decade. Asia hasn't been, but kinda. And causing a global depression-level energy crisis. Complete global depression. On its way next week or so. We're on our way. Can't stop it. The damage has already been done over the past 6 months. This isn't like, well, if we change our ways now, please, Jeebus, save us. No. We have done the damage consecutively over the past 6 months to bring us here. The damage is done. It's already done. This is already happening. So that's sad. That's a very sad thing. We decided not to stop it. That means we want it. So operational floor means you're slurping at the bottom of your cup, making that sound with your straw. Oil's gone. Before the 15th, we're in a brand new world. Japan, tanking. Their economy will be devastated. Their purchasing power is already being devastated. This chart is not factoring in reality. This 84 bucks right here per barrel, it's going to more than gap up. It's going to 2 times or more. 160, 200 per barrel within the next week or so. This is Japan cannot buy that. They've been tossing money away trying to correct their currency for the past couple months, just pissing away hundreds of billions. They should have bought oil. Whatever, we're doing this on purpose. Let's let it ride. So, next couple weeks, I see some ugly things happen. I sent this to my family. I'm like, you guys, I don't know how to prepare for this one. The pandemic of 2020, I saw right through that one. All those idiots in the double, triple masks, I saw right through their dumb brains. This one and all the policies and all the psychological warfare. Don't know how to prepare for this one. I don't know how to make gasoline. Maybe I should learn that before the internet goes down. I don't know if the internet will go down. We got Starlink, and I got a new coffee, and this coffee is strong. I'm like screaming, and I'm okay with it. Oh yeah, brother. All right, so next couple weeks, total system halt. Next month, within 30 days, a total system halt. Like, all right, we just stopped global oil shipments. All the oil shipments have stopped worldwide in the next month. Refineries shut down in 2 weeks. Next week, DOE suspends export license. Sorry, Japan. Sorry, China. You're on your own. That's lights out in China and Japan. That is not good. Well, Japan has coal, so Japan will do, or I mean, China has coal. China will do okay. Japan, man, I don't know how to help them. Like, I don't want people to be hurt. I want all good things to happen to people, more life to everybody. I don't know how to help Japan. I just don't know how. I don't know how to help myself. I don't know how to help my family. We've been doing this to ourselves for the last 6 months. The damage, like, even if we decide to be good right now and we're sorry and we apologize and save us, the damage is already done. Like, it's already done. The lava is already flowing down the mountain in Pompeii. Like, you should have listened to the Tremors. Like, I don't know. So that tells me it's on purpose. This is being done to us on purpose. If you don't fix something, intentionally don't fix something, that means you want it broke. They want this broke. So yeah, that's what I see. That's what I see. Next couple of weeks, got something happening. City of Cushing in Oklahoma is the central hub within the United States and worldwide oil industry. Cushing, Oklahoma. You're going to be hearing about that nonstop next week. It connects major pipelines within the United States and in the location where the oil futures contracts end up being delivered. Current reserves levels and operational status. As of mid-June 2026, crude oil inventories in Cushing, Oklahoma have fallen to critically low levels. What do we call it? The pipeline crossroads of the world is at critically low levels. Hovering just above operational minimums, barely can keep it operating. Let's go. The U.S. Energy Information Administration, EIA, haven't heard of them yet, reported that storage levels stood at approximately 21.6 million barrels for the week ending June 5th. 2 weeks ago. This represents only about 28 to 30% of the hub's total shell capacity. We're below 28%. I think we're below 20% now. Whoa. 75 and 91 million barrels. So 3 weeks ago, we were at 30%. And we've been shipping the shit out of oil to Japan and China over the past 3 weeks. Oh, this ain't good, folks. This is not good. The situation is precarious because the operational stress level or minimum warning inventory for the hub is approximately 20 million barrels, which we were at 3 weeks ago. We were at the minimum working level for the pipeline crossroads of the world 3 weeks ago. Remember when Trump said, if we keep exporting, we'll be out of oil in 4 months? And he said that 4 months ago. You remember that? Anybody remember that? I remember that. Below this threshold, the threshold 3 weeks ago, below that, the remaining oil consists largely of tank bottoms, unusable sludge, sediment, and water that cannot be easily pumped without damaging infrastructure. Economists estimate that at the 21.6 million barrel level, only about 1.6 million barrels are actually usable. So immediately we dropped from 21.6 down to 1.6. 1%. Or, you know what, 5, 6%. Oh my God. Oh my God. What caused this down drain? The rapid depletion of Cushing's reserves is primarily driven by record high U.S. crude oil exports acting as the global supply buffer. We're keeping China and Japan floating, and we're just charging up our credit card while everyone else is just spending things. The bills come and due. So we're exporting oil to keep the oil markets from acting crazy, which they're not. They're not. They're up, but 84, that actually should be 150 to 200 right now. But we're spending all of our oil, all of our reserve oil, not our strategic petroleum reserve, but our export reserve. We're spending that to keep the prices down for something. It's going to come to an end. Obviously, I got it next week. Pipeline pressure failures begin. That's the causes of the drain, what they say. So can't easily be pumped out. The unusable sludge, sediment, and water cannot be easily pumped out without damage to the infrastructure. That's pipeline pressure failures in Cushing, Oklahoma. The pipeline pressure failure. So of the last 21.6 million barrels, we think about maybe 1.6 million are usable. That's pipeline pressure failures next week. You're going to hear all about Cushing, Oklahoma, and its pipeline pressure failures next week. Good Lord. What's going to happen to the global market with this? Cushing serves as a physical delivery point for West Texas Intermediate crude oil futures contracts. Consequently, inventory levels at this hub are a primary driver for WTI pricing and the structure of the future curve. That means charts are going to go nuts. What does that mean? 150 to 200 per barrel Brent next week. As stocks near the tank bottom limit, the market faces heightened volatility and the risks of extreme price spikes. 90 to 160, try higher than that. We're at 84, so we're basically at 80 or at 90 now. We were at 100 when Japan had their full reserves, and we had reserves, and Cushing's was running nice. We were at $100 a barrel. Remember that? April. Industry leaders and analysis warn that if the Strait of Hormuz does not reopen, and Bob de El Mandeb, is also closed too. They didn't take that in consideration here. Potentially reaching per barrel. So let's say 150 to 200, like I want to say. Such price increases would translate directly to higher gasoline and diesel costs for consumers, creating an inflationary pressure. Conversely, potential diplomatic developments such as U.S.-Iran deal to reopen the strait have contributed to a temporary price of. However, blah, blah, blah. Wow. Wow, folks. We're talking next week. So out of the 21.6 million barrels we had 3 weeks ago, estimates of 1.6 barrels are actually usable due to sludge, sediment, and water. Next week, we're going to hear about the pipeline pressure failures. Export triage starts. For those not in the medical industry, triage means like you separate things, or like in war, bodies that come in, people that come in that are still alive, not decedents, uh, according to their wounds. Like most serious get treated first. If it's a sprained ankle, go to the back of the line. If you're missing two arms, okay, we're going to treat you first. That's a triage. The most horrific things get treated first. So we're going to start triaging exports next week. So maybe Japan still gets some, maybe China still gets some, but we're going to draw it back a little. 2 weeks, full stop, no exports, national security, America first, drill, baby, drill. We can't even drill, baby, drill, because we're going to be operating at a 60% capacity. I mean, folks, I'm talking $10 a barrel, or $10 a gallon. Sorry, $10 a gallon. So I'm filled up right now. Every day, I'm going to go fill up, or maybe every other day, just make sure I stay topped off. We're talking $10 a barrel easy coming up on the data from today. Tomorrow, all of this could change if something develops, whatever. But all the data, all the drain rates, the Cushing levels, the SPR levels, today, we're going to be at $10 a barrel in the next couple. Dang, $10 a gallon in the next couple weeks, $200 a barrel in the next couple weeks. This is going to gap up to like 170. China's going to be decimated. Well, not China. Japan's going to be decimated. China's going to have to crank up their coal supplies. Like, the damage is done. We have been doing this and digging our grave for the last 6 months. We've been doing this on purpose for the last 6 months. The damage is already done. Like, the movie's written, the movie's produced. We're just sitting in the audience staring at the screen. The movie's already written and produced. The script's already done. The actors have already did their job. They went home. We're watching the movie now. It's already happened. It's already happened. We just got to watch it play out. It's up to the individual. What do you got to do to help yourself and your loved ones? I told them to keep their tanks of gas topped off, fill every 5-gallon, gas can they could get their hands on. Don't go nuts. I mean, everything points to maybe go a little nuts this time, but I got one. I got, my gas and oil mixture for my weed whipper, and I got my 5-gallon for my lawnmower. I got my scooter filled up. I got my quad filled up. I got my motorcycle filled up. I got my car filled up. Just fill it up. If you don't use it, transfer it to something else later. Just siphon it out. Put your car fuel into your lawnmower later on. Then you'll just mow lawn for the rest of the year for free. I think we're going to need it. But yeah, this is that's what I'm seeing. We're exporting all of our oil that we're going to need in the next 6 months. We've given away in the past 6 months. On purpose, intentionally. To keep the oil markets from, this is going to go up to 20. We're going to be at 20,000 yen per crude oil. Like, these numbers are going to get ugly. Like, completely ugly. Global supply chain repricing. So there's that. And that's by the 15th. I think we're going to have Japan and China are going to have to stand. The training wheels are off. We can't support you anymore. You're on your own. National security, Department of Energy, Department of Defense all come out. We can't export anymore, folks. And I think it's going to be before the 15th. Like, we're 1.6 million barrels in there of usable. This is ugly, folks. But I just want to throw this out there. This is what I see. If anybody knows more than me, which, A lot of people, of course. I'm just researching, looking at the numbers, crunching some AI, crunching the numbers, the drain rates, uh, the export rates, all of that, crunching that into some AI and trying to get some timelines down. That's the old one. That's the new one. And by next month, total system halt. Total global supply chain halt. No oil to nobody. The only oil you have in your country is the oil that you produce by next month. Next week, pressure failures in Cushing, Oklahoma. Anyways, that's what I got, folks. This is disturbing, crazy, unpleasant, and we've been doing it intentionally for the last 6 months. Well, yeah, so next week you're going to start hearing about Cushing, Oklahoma. It's going to be the new buzzword. Whatever. Stay safe out there, folks. Plan accordingly. Do whatever you got to do. Non-violently. I'm not talking about that. All love, more life to everyone. But just plan a little bit. Do a little planning. And I got rice and beans, and lentils, like 45 pounds of lentils. I don't know. It's going to be gross eating, but I won't starve. Got firewood. Total system halt. Like, come on. That's pretty bad. So prepare accordingly. I say keep your car topped off. I'm saying $10 a gallon, man. Like, that's going to be easy coming up soon. Plus inflation. Come on. I don't like this news, but we've been doing it to ourselves intentionally for 6 months. Don't know what to do about it. If you have any ideas, let me know. That's it. I love you, folks. If I find out any new information, I'll post this. If you find out any information that changes the drain rates, or maybe all of a sudden we found a bunch of oil and we dumped it into Cushing, then okay, things kind of changed a little bit. We could export some things. But as of now, the current situation, current drain rate, current levels of oil reserves, less than 1 month. Less than 1 month. Next week, it's on. It's starting already. It already started. Like, we're not waiting for a countdown to begin to tell us when it's going to start. It started. It already started. All right. I'm out of here, folks. Love you a bunch. Stay safe. Stay smart. We got this. We can make it. We know what we're doing. Just stay smart. All right.